Spinning. On air, 1, 2. Hold on, dropping the music bed for 98.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level, or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
Game on, where progressives fear us and rhinos tremble. Welcome to the political jungle. I'm JD.
This is Stacey. No one is safe. No one is spared.
Lock up the children.
And the old folk.
Welcome to the world of liberservative conservatarians.
That's right. Good evening, everybody. JD and Stacey here with you. Tuesday, May 19th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means it's time for Game On, where no one is safe and no one is spared. Tonight we're talking Ramadi. Remember, everybody, la-di-da-di, we lost Ramadi. Hillary felonies. We want to thank Rick Robinson and the K98 Talk family for welcoming us, and we are very excited to be here. We're going to be live Tuesday, 10 p.m., Thursday, 9 p.m. for Game On. And on Sunday mornings, baby, get yourself up. Put some Baileys in that coffee. Get some whiskey with your tea. And watch. Listen to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. We're going to be live here 11 a.m. Go over right now and say hi to Stacey in chat at K98Talk.com. What's new in the world today, Stacey?
Oh, well, since the last time we've been on air, JD, I'm going to talk a little bit what's been in the news cycle. Not the things that are really important, but the things that kind of caught everybody's attention. Then we'll get to talking about what really matters. So first, since we were last on the air, we learned Obama's a sexist. George Stephanopoulos is a Clinton hack, but I think we already knew that. Poor Kirsten Powers actually released a book called The Silencing that talked about starting the debate, and the only debate she got back was from the leftist people who want to silence people to begin with. And then we learned a little bit more about the elections. Learned that Rick Perry is being stalked in the bathroom. Since Hillary Clinton hasn't answered a question in 27 days, apparently they're now waiting for the GOP candidates outside the restroom. We also learned that the most important question that a GOP candidate can answer is what they would have done during George W. Bush's administration about Iraq. Not really sure how that's relevant, but it seemed to take up a lot of time. And finally, breaking news right before we came on the air, Hillary Clinton actually answered questions for the first time in 27 days. They made a big splash out of it, JD. Ed Henry challenged her at a meeting in Iowa. She said she'll put it on her list for due consideration. And sure enough, as she was walking out, she was asked a few questions, and we're going to let the audience give their opinion on that a little later in the show.
I honestly don't even know what to say. That was 47. That was 47 things. I have absolutely nothing to say. That was there's a lot evidently going on in Stacey's world. The rest of it.
We hadn't been on air in a week.
I don't know. I don't understand what just happened here.
Well, those were all the things everybody seemed to be talking about. Some of them really aren't that important, but we've got some pretty important stuff to discuss now, don't we?
Like I said, we're discussing Ramadi. We're going to be talking Hillary felonies. We got plenty of time. We want to introduce coming up. We got Judith Miller coming up. We think that's going to be tomorrow. And Evan Sayet Sunday, correct?
Yes, had a great chat with Evan, and he's getting ready to go on a nationwide comedy tour. So if you're interested to see what that's going to be all about, tune in Sunday, and you'll get a little taste of it.
Woohoo! That was a hell of an interview. That was actually a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Oh my God! But of course, it is not a day in radio if we're not talking about the.
Durka.
Long pauses in radio because it's a new platform. There's all sorts of buttons.
And what do they want? Virgins.
Scotso already said it. Why don't you pay attention and keep up? Come on, there's timing.
Oh.
All right, so la-di-da-di, we've lost Ramadi. I mean, we were sitting in show prep and we were trying to figure out what the hell we wanted to do, and there is so much going on in the world. I just don't know. You don't know where to focus on it. So this we thought was important, and we're talking about ISIS taking Ramadi. And no, this did not just happen in the last 72 hours. A little later, you're going to see there's been documentation and memorandum from the State Department, Department of Defense, that the administration has known about this, just like the rest of us have, but they just sit there and they're lying skulls and they don't care. What is a Ramadi? And where in the world is a Ramadi? Part of the world.
Turkala, Muhammad Jihad. Bagala, Muhammad Jihad. Bagala, Muhammad Jihad. La Durka, Muhammad Jihad. Muhammad Jihad. Bak, Dirk Allah. Durka, Muhammad Jihad. Haka Sherpa, Bakala. Oh, Durka.
That's right. Durka. You're going to be hearing a lot about that because we can't get away from these people. But why does this matter, and why does it matter that Ramadi fell, and what is a Ramadi? Ramadi is a city in central Iraq. It's about 70 miles west of Baghdad. It's about 30 miles west of Fallujah. Very important. It is the capital of Al-Anbar Governorate. We're going to get back to why that's important in a second. The city extends along the Euphrates and is the largest city in Al-Anbar. Everybody listening right now, I want you to think about how much this world and our country has changed. If this was World War II, everybody in this audience right now and people who heard about the fall of Ramadi would be familiar with that there were actual two formal battles of and for Ramadi. 2004 and 2006, referred to as the first battle and the second battle of Ramadi. Well, Obubu and the rest of the morons in him administration was hoping that a victory in Ramadi could also serve as a push for a broader offensive to retake the Sunni heartland of Anbar province. But not so much, huh, Stacey?
Not so much. Anbar province and the city of Ramadi more specifically, that's where we had some of our worst losses during the Iraq War. We invested a lot of military and human losses in that particular area. And, one of the things that I keep reading in the press is that was a place that had a legitimate shot at turning around. And the analysis I keep seeing is that we left too soon.
Everybody knew that we left too soon. But it was, listen, this is what happens when you have, and we're going to get into Hillary later, but this is what happens when you have people who basically unicorn farm for a living and live on unicorn ranches and just have a worldview instead of an actual strategy. This is what you end up in. Ramadi is considered by ISIS to be part of its caliphate. Now, that caliphate now stretches from northern Syria to central Iraq. We have talked about this before. And for people who had missed the show that we covered, we spent an hour and a half going through ISIS. This is very important for several reasons. Ramadi, when they say is part of the Al-Anbar Governorate, well, does that ring a bell? That's right, because what you would hear about is the Anbar Awakening. What was the Anbar Awakening? Oh, my God. That's when the U.S., after investing all that blood and treasure, got the Sunnis to come on our side, fight against them, yada, 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 yada. So what do we give them? We give them Iranian generals and Iraqi last-minute trainees, and now you have ISIS. And what's important about that word caliphate is ISIS's leader right now is the number 8th of what these freaks feel is what? The 12th in the line of the caliphates before the world ends, Stacey?
Yeah, before the world ends. As we've said before, it is an apocalyptic cult. So.
But it's I don't know. How do you see this?
Well, I mean, the way that I'm seeing it right now with the press and what's going on is, number one, the White House and the State Department are hands off, taking a step back. Oh my gosh, ask somebody else. I mean, so after Ramadi fell, reporters are asking questions during the pressers and the normal audiences with these folks. The White House spokesperson said, ask the State Department and the Iraqis. And then they asked the State Department, who said, go ask the Iraqis. And as of this morning, the Iraqis' news outlets were saying that they still had control of 30% of the city.
Just stop.
I mean, it's crazy.
We're playing who's on first. When you say go ask the State Department, what's the point? Who's going to give the answer? Tell me. Come on.
Marie Harf.
Oh, my God. That's right.
Oh, my God.
That's right. Oh, my God. You know what? I was microaggressed because I drank a bottle of Jägermeister and wore a skirt with no panties and woke up with the lacrosse team. I don't know how they look at themselves.
Well, I think we saw Josh Earnest dance a little today too, didn't we?
I don't know. I didn't hear. Is it acceptable to do a Marie Hoff getting drunk and raped by the lacrosse team joke?
Probably not.
Why not? They're awful.
Well, I mean, you just said she woke up with them. You didn't say the other part. Saying she woke up with them, it kind of sounds like it was her choice.
Oh, okay. So good. You bailed me out of that one.
Thank you.
This goes back to what you were just referencing. Is if anybody didn't say. This is the exchange you brought to my attention with the White House and Ernest today with Jonathan Karl, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to set it up a little bit?
Well, sure. You know, as things continue to go south in the Middle East, I'm not sure if that even makes any sense, but we'll just go with it. As things continue to fall apart and ISIS continues its march to increase its territory within the caliphate, reporters are starting to ask, hey, how's this whole new strategy going? So, Karl was pretty specific in asking Mr. Ernest some questions, and his response is what I find remarkable.
Oh, the one in the press conference? Hold on. Let me. We're just getting used to new systems and everything like that, folks. Usually somebody gives you a cue, but this just got thrown over. This is Jonathan Karl with Josh Earnest today. Hold on.
Now, on the overall track record of military operations, the president's strategy on this, you said we've seen periods of progress and success. Would you say that overall this strategy has been a success?
Well, John, yeah. I mean, yes. Overall, yes. That doesn't mean that there haven't been areas of setback, as we saw in Ramadi.
I mean, is exporting terror to Libya, taking over the capital of Iraq's largest province, this is overall a success?
Well, what we've also seen is a coalition of 60 nations, both in the region and around the world, join the United States in this fight. We've seen a new prime minister take office in Iraq and unite that country.
You want to translate that?
We're uniting Iraq? I think we just cut it into some more pieces, didn't we?
Well, wasn't that the Biden? I mean, I think at the end of the day, Joe Biden Jesus God.
There was actually a great quote from Max Boot, a foreign policy analyst and a military historian, around this. He said, the fall of Ramadi is a sign of the abysmal failure of the misnamed Operation Inherent Resolve launched by President Obama in August of 2014 to degrade and ultimately destroy ISIS. Operation Uncertain Resolve is more like it.
Yeah, but I mean, Stacey, though, this is a little more serious than we're making it out to be. I mean,
yeah.
Crete fell last month, all right? Mm-hmm. And whether it was the Shia militia, look, ISIS has responded by consolidating its grip on the entire province of Anbar. And this goes back to what the interview that we had with Joseph Levine.
Right.
Our diplomacy accepts a view of presentism that is completely asinine, okay? You are not talking to the French foreign minister when you are dealing with these people. These are backward, death cult beheading savages, okay? So whether it's the one jackass trying to negotiate with who the hell are we over? The Iranians, You cannot deal with these people with any kind of diplomatic or strategic. Look, there's been 5 lessons learned so far, I think, in what we've been doing with ISIS. 1, the Iraqi army is still a work in progress. 2, airstrikes are not enough. 3, ISIS is resilient. 4, Shia-Sunni mistrust is ISIS's best friend, and Iraq's multiple crises are deepening. None of this had to happen. None of this had to happen. If you had anybody seriously taking 3 a.m. phone calls, or anybody at home in the White House, or anybody who had any idea of what was going on besides social justice and redistribution, we would not be in the position we are right now.
Well, and quotes from Kerry are just reinforcing it. The U.S. is going to support Iraq in this fight, but it's really a fight that belongs to the Iraqis. So I don't know what 60-nation coalition Ernest is talking about, other than signing on this is really bad stuff. But who's doing anything there as far as actually, providing support and assistance for the folks that we would ostensibly want to be able to help and support? The folks we don't necessarily want to help and support are being supported by Iran and Syria and a whole bunch of other really bad actors. And we're just saying, well, we'll stand here and we'll maybe talk to you about some stuff, but best of luck with that, folks.
Durka.
Listen, screw these people. Screw them. We're dealing with absolute morons. But, the Joint Chiefs had a press conference last week. You cannot get around the fact that this is a major setback in the war to destroy the Islamic State. And you and I have been speaking about this ad nauseum. Do we want to rebuild countries? No. Do we want to get involved in nation building? No. Do we want to save the world? No. But you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to defeat somebody who is a national security threat. And this goes back to things that we're going to talk about later on in the second segment, some things that actually came out with Benghazi and Hillary and Blumenthal, and it all kind of wraps together. But this administration has no problem bald-faced soft-selling our enemies and how dangerous they are to us, but while still dealing with them. And I mean that's with the Muslim Brotherhood or what have you. So to me, if I'm somebody who was fighting in Ramadi or in Iraq right now, and I'm looking at what this hoople-headed jackass really is doing, I mean, if I was a military person or somebody who served, not only would I be offended at what the hell was going on right now, and not only would I think it's a shame, but I really would come to the conclusion that there really is nobody at home at the national security command and control structure of this country. You had a press conference of the Joint Chiefs a week or two ago saying, yeah, we're going to kill these guys. They're a bunch of mud hut nobodies. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like 150 or how many kicked the hell out of 7,000 Iraqi troops who never fired their rifles, dropped them on the ground, dumped in their drawers, and ran to find the next rock to wipe their ass with.
I mean, you couple that with this wonderful summit we had with the Gulf countries regarding Iran, and the White House saying absolutely stupid things like Iran is not the model. Duh, Ben Rhodes, thank you very much. And that the Gulf states shouldn't follow and ignite an arms race. And the Iran nuke deal dollars will go to the economy, not terrorism. I mean, when you have the King of Saudi Arabia and Benjamin Netanyahu agreeing about what's going on, maybe you should listen.
Listen, when we're dealing with the king of anybody, this is where you got to get the Earl. This is where the oil is. This is where the oil is. So this is what we get. For anybody out there who's not familiar with it, there are so many characters and players, whether it's Al-Fuq bin Bob the 43rd or whatever other Durka moron there is out there. Stacey and I have got ourselves a very easy metric. Everybody is just called Bob, and they've been given numbers. Okay, and I saw they killed one of the Bobs. Are we up to Bob 14, or if they killed Bob 11, does that make it 13? Where are we on the Durka Bobs?
Oh, Durka.
I don't remember what our count is, but yeah, we droned somebody right before we lost, Ramadi fell. And
you want to know something? Listen, with a minute left going into the break, I'm glad you brought that up. Because I want all the liberals in the audience listening right now, and yes, we know you listen, jackasses. That goes to you, Talking Point Memo, and Media Matters. Listen to me very careful right now, okay? You're sainted, exalted, come down from heaven, smartest man since Christ himself, who nobody can see his transcripts from Colombia, with his great war strategy, and don't worry about this. You want to know something? Do you know how Ramadi was actually taken strategically, besides the fact that the Iraqi army couldn't fight its way out of a wet roll of toilet paper? Sandstorms. I want to say this again. Sandstorms, okay? So listen to me, President Obama. Stop being Stalin and purging the military. Get some people who know what the hell they're talking about. Sit down, eat a little humble pie, and listen to them. Because for your drone war and for your I want to empty Guantanamo and there's going to be no human intelligence and all this other jackassery, all your technology got defeated by a sandstorm, because you want to know what? As 5th century as these people are, they know enough that the drones can't see through a sandstorm. So listen, ass, your $1 trillion did nothing. Now they're in Ramadi. Who the hell knows what comes after that? But we're going to be back in a few minutes.
The staff of K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network is proud to announce that our very own Rowdy Rick Robinson has been selected as one of the top conservative talk show hosts in the nation for his program America Off the Rails. Again, congratulations to Rowdy Rick Robinson for a job well done and another reason to stay connected to K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan.
This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear Barack Obama's speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
We're gonna spread happiness. We're gonna spread freedom. Obama's gonna change it. Obama's gonna lead 'em.
So let me be clear. You didn't build that.
Everything he's done is clean as a whistle. He's never not only broken any law, he's never done anything wrong. He's the perfect father, the perfect husband, the perfect American.
Hey, y'all. This is Sam Janney, or the Bunny, as many of you know me by. Your friendly neighborhood bad girl of conservatism. Here to talk to you about my show. I'll talk about conservative issues, my top 10 douchebags of the week, and have some pretty badass conservative guests on the show. All that, plus me, your resident bunny with a chainsaw.
Wednesday nights will never be the same. It's Unapologetically Bunny. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
K98Talk.com, a leader in internet radio. So grab your seatbelts and take the ride of your life on K98Talk.com.
Yeah, welcome back with JD and Stacey here on K98Talk.com with that game on, baby. Nobody is safe. Nobody is spared. Coming into the bottom half of that 10 o'clock hour. Woo, get over to that chat room, that K98Talk.com, baby. Talk to that Stacey. You lonely over there, right, baby?
Actually, I'm not. We've got a nice little chat room going here. Shout out to Donna and Beaker and Slickery Trigger, Bill, Tina, Kelly. Now I got to scroll up. Home of Uncle Sam is in there.
Oh my
God,
this is like romper room. I see Slickery.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got people in chat this week that have never been in chat before. I think that's great.
Good. All right, listen, both of us got it out of our system. Anybody who's never done this before, I felt like that first segment, I felt like you didn't get us. I felt like the body snatchers had come and taken us. All these buttons, because we got to thank Ricky Robinson here of the K98Talk.com, because I got to tell you something, baby. He's got buttons and levers and slides and voice meters and, oh, good Lord. Good Lord, good Lord, good Lord.
New technology makes us nervous.
You want to know what? Without getting okay. So let's tell them. Let's tell them.
Okay.
We are not married, but we do a radio show, and we almost had our not married divorce.
Exactly. If anybody could have heard us screaming at each other last night, they would have been almost sure we were married.
Let me tell you something. Do you know how I knew it was so funny? When I felt that way last night is when you were just like, listen to me. I'm going to hang up the phone because I don't want to hang up on you. And I was like, how pleasant for this conversation to end.
Not talking to you anymore because I'm going to pop a vessel in my temple.
But
it's all good today.
Yes, we have made up.
Absolutely.
And honestly, that really is because we're super stoked to be over here. We're going to be doing 3 weeks. We're going to be doing 3 weeks of radio a night now. We're going to be doing.
So it kind of feels that way tonight.
Jesus God, let's hope the audience don't think so, baby. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Jesus, we went from NPR to Opie and Anthony between two segments. What? I don't.
There you go.
All right, folks. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be. Oh my God, Rick's got buttons and levers, and I got too many notes for what's going on here. We picked 2 topics. I have notes that it looks like I canvassed the 4th Ward of Chicago.
Well, with that.
With what? What? Oh, wait.
They all want you to turn up your mic. They say you're too quiet.
All right, hold on one second. Ask them. I think we're on like a 15-second delay. So ask them for 15 seconds and see what's what. Let me try this. This is what we need, folks. We're going to have on the first one. We're going to have. How's my level?
All right. Well, just let's keep going. Move into the next topic. They'll let me know if you need to turn it up again.
Oh, is that how it goes? We move on to the next topic. I'm so without you, what would I do?
I don't know, but I really want to talk about Hillary. She has had the worst 48 hours ever.
Oh, they're going to get worse. They're going to get worse.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Well, as a matter of fact, let's set this up for the audience because that's right. She's Darth Vader and it's Star Wars. So how do you not play that? But I think more apropos to set this up. And Stacey, I'm going to ask you to come in here a little bit of this. In this particular case, we have the Emperor and Empress of Chappaqua, Don Bill and Don S. Hill. And what we have found out in the last 24 hours is what they used to say. It's a pascasca barafatis hazigiri babrajor, which means, Hillary, goddamn, I thought I was a thief, but Lord, are you a crook?
Oh, well, it all started with the New York Times, which is really kind of hysterical.
No, it's not, because that article is bylined by Amy Chozick. And I'll tell you something. So you're referencing the article that came up basically releasing the Blumenthal revelations, which basically, Sidney Blumenthal is the server. He is.
No, I was actually talking about the original one where they just posted the 900 pages of email. I mean, there's a PDF with 900 pages of emails, and the big revelation about that is she is a stinking liar because her attorney told Trey Gowdy that she only ever used the email address hrd22@clintonemail.com while she was Secretary of State. After 2009, there was no other email address. But guess what all these emails from and to Sidney Blumenthal went to? It went to HROD17, the one they swore to God never existed.
Oh my God! So now we got HROD. We got look.
Yeah, I know. Can you? All right. Yeah.
All right.
Hillary Rod, short for Hillary Rodham.
Okay. So the President of the United States swore up, down, and center on live television to hundreds of millions of people, okay, that he didn't get a BJ from a chubby broad in the little ante room of the Oval Office. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Since then, they have been nothing but the paragon of truth and virtue, right? So we should just believe that she never used any of these emails, right? Her H-Rod, her A-Rod, this other asinine nonsense. I mean, I don't – there's so much of – folks, we're going to take this from this segment into the third and wrap the show with it. I don't know where to start. Do you want to start with Gangsta Blumenthal, who is like he's like the who the hell am I thinking of? Like the Jewish mobsters in the 20s. I mean, this guy is he makes Epstein look like a girl.
Like a saint?
Ugh.
A choir boy? Yeah, why don't you clue him a little bit, other than serving in Bill Clinton's administration and being barred from serving in the Department of State under Obama. That's hard.
But for the same reason. All right. For those of you who are not I hate the fact that there are politically active and savvy people that just don't remember the Clinton administration, because that means I want to kill myself. But basically, Sidney Blumenthal, who you'll see now, basically, rouge, bad makeup, a little bit of Botox. Every once in a while, Hillary grabs him and goes,
"You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?"
Right. But, he's been this character that's been around the Clintons forever and 15 days. And who he was is he was really the Clinton bagman and attack dog back during the 2 terms of that administration. To the point is he was actually, when you hear the term Clintonian and when you hear about the playbook of the Clintons smearing people, and whether it was James Carville, you drag a $100 bill through a trailer park and you didn't sleep, this is the man who was behind the smears and destruction of anybody who got near the Empress and Emperor of Chappaqua. And the reason that this smarmy, skelly thief, moneyed as he is, the reason that Obama didn't want him in the administration, do you know why?
No, JD, why?
Because, boo-boo, Mr. Thinskin himself is convinced in the 08 campaign it was literally personally Blumenthal running their war room and floating Kenyan Muslim Obama communist social. Listen to me. The long and the short of it is the Obama administration is convinced that Sidney Blumenthal was responsible for more Oppo research and negative garbage put out against, the smartest yet thinnest-skinned man in the world. So that tells me this man's stripes haven't changed in 20, 25 years. So why don't you segue into how he came to our attention again?
Well, what I think the latest revelations about Blumenthal are really the best demonstration of is that the Clinton organization is the definition of a political machine. I mean, when you look at everything over the course of 2011 and 2012 that Sidney Blumenthal had his fingers in as kind of this go-between linkage between the Clinton Foundation, the Secretary of State, and some, kind of stupid guys who thought they wanted to do business in Libya but apparently didn't know much about it. Plus, he was a paid consultant to Media Matters.
That's a great story. So he goes, all right, so this jerk-off goes off-grid, right? Forget the fact that she doesn't have emails. He's not supposed to be working for the State Department, okay? Now, here's a good question. How and why does all of this come up? FOIA requests, right? FOIA requests. Mm-hmm. Congress can't get at them, for the most part, when they ask for them. I mean, Gowdy's done a little bit. But this comes out in FOIA requests, okay? So this, to me, was one of the best lines I read in any of the articles, and this was about the guy who was all excited. So this is where these were the people Blumenthal was connected through while he was secretly sending emails to Hillary Clinton at the State Department, who at the time she was getting them was tagging him, somebody she just called today a lifelong friend, as an anonymous source. So here's one of the roses he got in bed with. Quote, "We were thinking, okay, Gaddafi is dead or about to be, and there's opportunities," Mr. White said in a brief telephone interview. He added, "We thought, let's try to see who we knew there." So who is this Mr. White that they are talking about? Sidney Blumenthal was arranging Libyan business opportunities, correct?
Correct.
And he found himself Major General David Grange and a man by the name of Bill White. And you heard Bill. We were thinking, okay, Gaddafi is dead or about to be, and there's opportunities. Who is Bill White? Bill White has spent the majority of his career as an executive wait for it, at the Intrepid Sea Air Space Museum on the west side of Manhattan. I want to say this again. Bill White did not captain the Intrepid and fight and help win World War II. Bill White worked as an executive at a floating museum.
Just the fact that where he worked has the word intrepid in it cracked me up.
Oh, my God. You were talking about Bill Clinton, Sidney Blumenthal, and putting fingers in things. You had me all, ugh.
Ugh. Sorry. Well, it would have been worse if I was talking about Clinton and Epstein. Now, be real.
Oh, you want to know? I honestly wish there was more traction on that. I mean, the fact that our job for a couple of hours this year was to find Fantasy Island sound effects and talk about an orgy island.
Yeah, that was. And we're talking about politics. That's the sad part.
Well,
we're
listen,
talking about our government.
Yeah, but this goes back to, I got to tell you, these people, they are so devious and so deep. I mean, we're basically talking a Hillary connection to Sidney Blumenthal, who was off the grid outside of the State Department, but being tagged by the Clinton by Mrs. Clinton as an anonymous source with his quote unquote intelligence or whatever he was having, kicked up the chain
from
for
the
ASAP.
guy.
What?
From the guy who ran the Intrepid Museum.
Okay, this is okay. This is where I'm going with this. Mm-hmm. This fat piano leg cankled thief. Yes, I'm talking about Hillary. Okay, the Empress of Chappaqua had set up a shadow government. I mean, seriously, Blumenthal is the server. Her having an email server and erasing and not keeping her emails is nothing. I want you to think about that. They so publicly took the hit on that because of this. Because of Sidney Blumenthal, a retired major general from the military, and Bill White from the Intrepid Air Space Museum, who got a call from the Clintons and goes, hey, we're going to whack out Gaddafi. There might be, quote-unquote, business opportunities. The hell were you going to open? The 4,897,363rd BP in Libya?
I think they were actually looking for contracts from the interim government.
Oh, I almost said it. I'm sorry, Rick. We know the new boss is Rick. I haven't done that yet. I'm usually good about it.
No, you haven't.
I'll find, but no, that's crap. That's absolute garbage. Yeah. What they want is money to siphon, to run through the Clinton Foundation, to shake down journalists for $75,000 donations for access. We haven't even scratched the surface of this yet.
No, I know. Well, what kills me about the journalists and the 75, these stupid puppies are trotting around watching her in these staged events. Great picture today. Couple great pictures so far. The first one, I'm opening my office in Brooklyn, and there was this thing sitting on the stoop of a brownstone that looked like the opening, the cast from Sesame Street when I was a kid, complete in a green jacket that looked kind of like Oscar the Grouch. The ones she wears with long sleeves. I think it was about 70 in New York that day. And then you go to Iowa, and you go to Iowa, and you literally have somebody tweeting out, there's 4 people on the stage, there's 12 invited guests, and 60 reporters.
I understand that. I understand that. But look, I have to tell you something. Give her credit. Give her credit. Give Bill Clinton credit. Give Sidney Blumenthal credit. Give everybody that they've stepped on, had killed, pushed aside, or took money from, give them credit. You want to know why? Because this woman is running for president, is allowed to get away with not talking to anybody about a damn thing. And she is so under-rehearsed that the audio that we're going to play in the third segment of her answering questions, the video is scarier. It's like a bobbleheaded doll sitting on a dildo. It is, I mean, she looked like a vampire coming out of nowhere. This woman is not ready for prime. Wait, hold on a second. This woman is not ready for prime time, but the press is going to defend her goddamn tooth and nail, okay? But our idiots, what have they spent the last week doing? Relitigating the Iraq War from 2003 because of a question asked by Megyn Kelly. And that's not Megyn Kelly's fault. It's these morons' fault. Stop playing on their turf. Ramadi fell this week. So why don't you ask her about that instead of refighting the Iraq War from 2003?
Oh, we refought that for days. But I mean,
They'll
when
refight it. Sorry, I'm better now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I lost the audio because you just stopped.
I had a stroke. I told you. Oh, that's another. We had now, you were a nurse.
The best. It's new technology. I'm sorry. The best thing I actually saw today was a quote by Josh in Talking Points memo talking about all the email stuff, and apparently he hadn't gotten to the rest of the news of the day yet, where he was saying that, and he mentions Vince Foster and says, in case you're not familiar with who Vince Foster is, Vince Foster was the Benghazi of the 90s. Well,
yeah.
Given what we're finding out about that, maybe we ought to go back and look at what happened to Vince Foster.
Vince Foster was Chandra Levering with a better job. See you on the other side.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in...
Listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works.
President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before.
Did someone say green?
Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind?
Now, do you say good things about me on the show?
No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much.
The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation.
Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo?
I got a pen. I can veto that,
I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it.
Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either.
That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
Wondering why you're up early with us on a Sunday morning making a cocktail? News lately got you drinking? Hung over from the mainstream media by Sunday? We are, and we got you covered.
We sure do. We got your hangover cure for those weekly news blues. So sit back, top off your mimosa, and add some Baileys to that coffee.
Take a match to your copy of the New York Times. Light, funny, and oh yeah, news with booze.
And a lot of laughter.
Welcome to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. If it's Sunday, it's Bloody Marys and Broadsheets.
We're your cure from your weekly news hangover.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
JD and Stacey back on Game On here on K98Talk.com. Everybody get over to K98Talk.com right now. Talk to Stacey in the chat room. She told me there's some bombs being thrown over there, baby. Come back. Find us. What time are we on Thursday night?
We're on at 9 o'clock Thursday night.
9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And as you heard, there was a little interference. There's more buttons and slides, but we're getting used to it, folks. That's why you keep what you call a bumper in the deck, so that when everything goes to hell, you can just hit it and kind of reset. But
and for those of you who are new to us, that awesome bumper is done by Alfonso Rachel and his band 20 Pound Sledge.
Yeah,
and he was kind enough to let us use it.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. You heard it, SoundCloud. You can't kick us out. We got the rights to use it.
They can try.
Oh, my God. All right. We got about 12 or 13 minutes left here. All right. So, Cankles. On top
Your
of
mom is really going to get mad at you.
You know what? She couldn't be any. She's got another son who's a doctor. She'll get over it. We could have done a 3-hour show on all the garbage that went on. But all right, so Chairwoman Mao, right, with her little green jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that just cute?
Well, no, she wears them everywhere. We say Kim Jong wants his jackets back.
She's like Kim Jong. Ugh.
Ugh.
I really wish you could see the bobbleheaded response that she gives here, but this is Hillary speaking for the first time in how long, Stace?
27 days.
Oh, I thought it was like 1932, like, when Stedman resigned. Here's Hillary.
Sidney Blumenthal, there was a report out this morning that you've exchanged several emails. And should Americans expect that if elected president, you would have that same type of relationship with these old friends that you've had for so long?
I have many, many old friends, and I always think that it's important when you get into politics to have friends you had before you were in politics and to understand
was she
what's
ever
on their
in before
minds.
Was there ever
he's been
before
a friend
politics
of mine
with
for
her?
a long time. He sent me unsolicited emails, which I passed on in some instances, and I see that's just part of the give and take. When you're in the public eye, when you're in an official position, I think you do have to work to make sure you're not caught in a bubble and you only hear from
she's
a
in no
certain
bubble.
Small group of people. And I'm going to
tell you
to my
something.
old friends.
This woman has balls you could drive around in a dump truck.
Secretary Clinton, we learned today that the State Department might not release your emails until January of 2016. A federal judge says they should be released sooner. Will you demand that they are released sooner? And to follow up on the questions about the speeches, was there a conflict of interest in your giving paid speeches into the run-up of your announcement that you're running for president?
The answer to the second is no. And the answer to the first is I have said repeatedly, I want those emails out. Nobody has a bigger interest in getting them released than I do. I respect the State Department. They have their process that they do for everybody, not just for me.
She respected him enough to turn over her email the right way.
Expedite that process, I heartily support. I want the American people to learn as much as we can about the work that I did with our diplomats and our development experts, because I think it will show.
Don't you just want to hit her in the face
and
with a
what we
frying
did,
pan?
For our country during the time that I was Secretary of State, where I worked extremely hard on behalf of our values and our interests and our security, and the emails are part of that. So I have said publicly,
like that whole embassy in Libya,
today,
our security.
I want them out as soon as they can get out.
But will you demand it? Will you demand it?
Well, they're not mine. They belong to the State
They're
Department. So the State Department has to go through its
They're
process.
not mine.
As
They
much
were
as
on
they
your
can
personal
expedite that
server.
process. That's what I'm asking them to do.
Blumenthal?
Please move as quickly as they possibly can to get them out as quickly as they can.
Secretary Clinton.
All right, let me
Okay, can I just-
let me translate the end of that press conference.
Let me just say this. Couple things that struck me during that monumental interaction with the press. My God, Carly Fiorina answers more questions than that in like 30 seconds, okay? All right. First of all, she acknowledged receiving emails from Blumenthal that she then passed along on an email address she supposedly didn't have.
No, but wait a minute. She had denied getting them. This is the genius of the Clinton buffoonery. It is so Machiavellian, so twisted, and so deep your eyes roll over in the back of your head like a great white going after a fish. You're like, ah. And you can just focus on the fact that Marco Rubio said something stupid.
And then she has the nerve to talk about needing to know what's going on outside the bubble. She's in nothing but a bubble. The woman hasn't driven a car since 1992.
I am not the smartest man in the world, okay? But let me get this straight. She wanted to take herself out of a bubble by dealing with the guy that by the time 1992 came around, which was 23 years ago, she was so close with him and her husband, okay, that he became one of their closest advisors, all right? Which means that in order to develop a relationship like that, which was at a point 23 years ago, don't you think that relationship developed sometime before that?
You would think so.
Okay. So her answer to step outside the bubble is to speak to a family friend that she's known for the better part of 40 or 50 years?
exactly why the comment was just like, what? But I mean, the thing that nobody asked her a question about in that very short exchange, and maybe they had some, okay, is a congressional inquiry that's been going on since since the beginning of 2012 into the events around Benghazi. Judicial Watch publishes, okay, a report based on 100 pages of documentation that they got through a Freedom of Information Act request that basically blows the entire administration's timeline and story out of the water.
Because it's bogus. Look,
we knew it was bogus, but how much shut-uppery has the right been given about faux scandals and everything else? No, we called it from day one.
No, listen, it's
day one, and we're in 2015, and this lady wants to run on being the most transparent politician in the world? Are you kidding me?
What's she going to wear? Transparent Chairman Mao jackets? But look, you're talking about 100 documents, okay? 100 documents. Keep in mind, of over 1 billion documents, the State Department husbanded and kept 60,000. So let's talk numbers here, all right? And they always, oh my God, in the grand scheme of all those emails, what are you going to find, all right? Judicial Watch publishes an article on the discovery of 100, not 1,000, not 10,000, not 1 million, not 1 billion, 100 new documents. Just a quick brush of it. What did that confirm? That it was a pre-planned attack. What else did it confirm? That the State Department and the Obama administration knew damn well that there had been arms shipments that were going from into Syria, right? But Congress
and exactly what kind?
Exactly what kind? Hold on one second. This is the kind of intelligence that came out in a memo. Okay, you ready for this? This memo came out on September 12th. Of 2012, all right? This is less than 24 hours after the attack. Quote, this is reading directly from a DIA report. A violent radical is the leader of BCOAR is Abdul Bassett. He's going to be Bob number 19. He's a Zuz. Was sent by Zawahiri, he's Bob number 2, to set up Al-Qaeda. That's like the place of the Bobs. They have SA-7 and SA-23-4 man pads. They train almost every day focusing on religious lessons and scriptures and jihadist theology. The weapons shipped from Syria during late August 2012 were sniper rifles, RPGs, and 125 millimeter and 155 millimeter howitzer missiles, down to the number of weapons shipped.
But not only that, the day after they attack, the intelligence that came back, it was an attack planned 10 days in advance to commemorate the anniversary of September 11th, 2001, and take retribution for somebody else we droned, Bob number 21. Okay?
No, that was Bob number 16. Bob number 21, I think, is on vacation.
Oh, okay. Whatever. But and that's as the hoople heads, Samantha Powers and Hillary Clinton, are out there blaming it on a freaking YouTube video that they then had to go yank up some guy who'd gotten 3 views and stick him in jail for something.
The old video yank, huh?
I'm just saying. So here's this guy who made a video. Maybe it wasn't all that nice about radical Islam. They actually had to find a reason to stick him in jail as retribution for starting this whole thing in Libya. Are you kidding me?
I'm moving to North Korea where their people are free.
They confirmed Al-Qaeda bases in Libya. And what's more, they have a direct full quote in here that basically predicts what just happened. Did you catch that one?
No, but can we start calling Hillary King John Hill? Oh, can we? Come on, Spike, please, come on, boss. Can we, please?
I like Darth Vader better.
Who?
I like the Darth Vader theme better.
I can agree.
There you go. But
This is about to replace Hail to the Chief. You realize that, right?
But let's take a look at what was.
This is her walking to the kitchen when she gets up in the morning. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have started with me.
But let's take a look at what the report actually said. The deterioration of the situation has dire consequences on the Iraqi situation and are as follows. This creates the ideal atmosphere for AQI, Al-Qaeda Iraq, to return to its old pockets in Mosul and Ramadi, and will provide a renewed momentum under the presumption of unifying the jihad among Sunni Iraq and Syria and the rest of the Sunnis in the Arab world against what it considers one enemy, the dissenters. ISI, which was short for the Islamic State, could also declare an Islamic State throughout its union with other terrorist organizations in Iraq and Syria, which will create grave danger in regards to unifying Iraq and the protection of its territory. And my gosh, the Judicial Watch report just brought us full circle back to the first story we did. What the freak happened?
Yeah, but here's the real shame and problem of it. Just what you elicited and as you enumerated it was exactly correct. You know what the sin is? You know what the date
they knew it in 2012?
Well, yeah, I was going to. Okay. How much of a delay do we have between us right now?
You skip a little bit.
All right, Rick, you hear that? We're going to need new. You got to deal with the technology issues on her end. I've had enough for the week. I really want to thank Rick Robinson and the K98 Talk family for welcoming Stacey and I, Game On, and Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. Yeah, we're going to be back this Thursday night, 9 p.m., baby, that Eastern Standard Time for Game On, and 11 a.m. this coming Sunday morning for Bloody Marys and Broadsheets, your cure for your, what is it, weekly mainstream
weekly mainstream news hangover, and we're going to be bringing you two really cool guests on those nights. So
that's right. Judith Miller coming up Thursday night, Evan Syed on Sunday. Say it. Stacey, you got the keys?
Oh, God, I better. Let's get up on out of here.
Great. Tell the nice people where you are and what you're going to be doing.
This week, you can always find me on Twitter at @ScottsFire, and you can find me on Facebook at Stacey Lennox.
And you can find me on Game On JD on the Twitters. Get over to JD and Stacey, the show account, and, of course, folks, at various bar stools, alleyways, and assorted seedy places I shouldn't be. See you Thursday night.
I'm looking for you, you Occupy freaks with your glitter bombs. Bring it on! Bring on the glitter. Everything has changed. Everything has changed in the last few years. Conservatives used to take it, and we're not taking it anymore.